Okay, this is a continuation of the Mod 1 review of the learning targets. We are now on page 3. So the learning targets on page 3 read, I can identify whether an equation or sequence, an equation for a sequence is explicit or recursive. I can identify whether an equation represents arithmetic or geometric. I can justify my reasoning for both. Number 23, is the following function arithmetic or geometric? So what I see here is I see the value of 3, and then I see this 8 times x. So what this means is, another way to think of this, I could write it like this and say negative 3 plus 8x. This means I'm starting with negative 3, and I keep adding multiple 8s. Okay? I keep adding 8 X amount of time. So I have repeated, so I'm going to say arithmetic. And then my reason is going to be, now I could write, I start with negative 3, and I repeatedly add 8 X amount of times. Or you could simply notice that this is in the form y equals mx plus b, so it is linear. Those are your options. Number 24, is the following arithmetic or geometric? So what I notice here is I have this starting term of 18, and then I am multiplying by 3 x amount of times. So what I end up having is repeated multiplication. And that makes it geometric. Another thing you could say is this is an exponential function. And exponential functions are geometric. Next, is the following recursive or explicit? Well, the first thing I notice is I don't have the first term of the sequence. And then when I look right here, this is not referring to the previous term. So that makes me think it's not recursive. The reason I know it's explicit is I could find any term in the sequence that I want. So if I wanted to find the 100th term, I would just substitute 100 in for n, and I would get the 100th term. So my justify is this function can be used to find any term in the sequence. Number 26, what I notice right away here is that there's 2 parts, and it's telling me what my first term is, and then this is telling me what I can do with my previous term, and that makes it recursive. So it's recursive because I know the first term and how to find the next term. All right. 27 and 28 are really for you to decide, and then you have to justify your reasoning. So if you're asked to find the 85th term in an arithmetic sequence, you know the first term, you know the common difference is 4. So you know which term, you know the first term, and you know you're going to keep adding 4. Would it be better to have an explicit formula or a recursive formula? And explain your reasoning. I'm going to let you think on that one instead of giving that one away. 28, same idea. This time, you've got the 5th term in a geometric sequence. You know the first term, and you know the common ratio is 5. Would it be faster to use the explicit or the recursive? And again, this one is up for you to decide. Just make sure you can justify your reasoning.